Well, hello and welcome. Today we're in Goochland County, Virginia, and we're at a large greenhouse operation that uses hydroponic techniques to grow leafy greens, a company called Greenswell Growers. And we're here with the CEO, Mr. Carl Gupton. Carl, thanks for having us.
No problem.
This is an amazing location, an amazing place here where you're growing lots of things. People can see behind us all that you're doing. Yep. But tell me a little bit more. What do you do here?
Sure. So we have a commercial scale greenhouse that we grow baby leaf greens. Our business model was to bring the West Coast farms to the East Coast. And I think we've been pretty successful at that so far. Really, 90% of the baby leaf greens that you eat today come from the West Coast, whether that's California or Arizona. Our business model is to bring those to a local level and eliminate that transportation across the country and bring a fresher, crisper produce to the store shelves.
I know that as I go to stores around the state of Virginia, I see your product in there, and it's a box that's got mixed greens in it. Yep. Pretty amazing. It looks really good.
That's our goal. That's part of the freshness that we're able to deliver.
And I know with the technologies you got here, which is very, very high tech, you can produce a lot of lettuce in this size operation. How big is this operation?
So it's 1.4 acres we have under glass here. With that, we can produce about 700,000 pounds of baby leaf greens out of that 1.4 acres. Give you some perspective, West Coast in Salinas, if you had that same acreage, you'd produce about 32,000 pounds annually. So we get about a 25x of what you would get versus traditional field farming.
Oh, that's truly amazing. Yeah. And as I see a lot of these operations popping up, and I also see people, just hobby growers and gardeners that are interested in this type of thing. And so is this something that they can do at home maybe?
Sure. This is a hydroponic system, an NFT system on steroids, I would say. The home gardener can use the same exact techniques we are using. We just do it on scale with automation.
Okay. Well, I know Gus, your head grower, I'm going to go talk to him, and he's going to maybe show us some of the things that you do here, and maybe we can translate that and how it can help growers at home.
Absolutely.
Hey Gus, how are you today?
Hi Chris, I'm doing well.
You know, I was talking to Carl earlier about this operation. It's an amazing operation, really high tech. And I get calls all the time and emails from people that want to do some type of hydroponic operation at home. Or maybe they've got a hobby greenhouse. And I'm thinking some of the things that you do here might be applicable for them in their operations.
Yep, I think that's definitely the case. We just do things at a super large scale here. But the same principles apply. Like we grow in a specialized substrate. We use a peat moss-based substrate. Same thing that a gardener at home could use for their hydroponic system. And then lighting is important, fertilizer and irrigation, the same principles apply.
Oh, gotcha. And that makes sense. You've got to really, with these type systems, you've got to pay attention, don't you?
Yeah.
And I know you guys are monitoring things all the time. And we think about fertilizer, for example. Yep. I know that you guys mix a certain type of fertilizer. It's really good for the plants. And then you monitor it all the time. Yep. So what can somebody do at home if they're mixing up a fertilizer?
Yeah, so while here our systems will automatically adjust our fertilizer for us based on my recipe, at home you can buy an inexpensive pen or a meter that will test your fertilizer, and you can mix up a batch once a week. Now what you mix up at home might not last as long as what we make here, but there's simple ways to do these things.
When you think about seeds and varieties, people are always looking for seed catalogs where they can find seeds that might be good for the home garden, maybe good for a DIY hydroponic system. Are there some seeds or cultivars that are better for that?
Yes, we grow specific ones that were bred for systems like this. And for the home hobbyist, you could certainly purchase ones that maybe not at this level of precision, but varieties that are meant for a hydroponic system.
Okay, so I know behind you here, you've got your trays. The trays have been harvested. The lettuce that you produced is harvested. The trays are sterilized, cleaned. They come through here and they get that media there on them, and then you plant a seed, right?
That is correct.
So it goes out there, and what do you do to make sure that you germinate well?
Yep, so germination is one of the most important steps for us here. It's ensuring that we have good plants at the end when we go to harvest. So we try to monitor the temperature and humidity are the most important factors. We aim for 80 to 90% humidity and 75 to 85 degrees Fahrenheit to get really good germination.
That makes sense. I think whether you're out at your home and you've got you're germinating seeds for your garden or for your hydroponic system, I think those kind of things is what people need to think about.
Yeah, and while here we measure all of this with really highly automated systems, at home there are simple ways to do things like that, like light timers or power timers that can turn on heaters on and off, and more easy ways to access this kind of technology.
Okay, makes sense. Really high-tech operation, but I think it can translate down to some home growers.
Certainly, and that's where a lot of my original experience came from before I got here.
Oh, makes sense. All right. Love your operation. Thank you so much for letting us come out today.
Thank you, Chris.
Well, for more information about how to grow hydroponically, contact your local county extension office and talk to a master gardener. From the Ground Up, I'm Chris Mullins. We'll see you next time.
From the Ground Up is presented with the generous advice and assistance of Virginia Cooperative Extension. Visit their website at ext.vt.edu.